I'm grateful, Nikolai. Thank you for that beautiful introduction. I was a little confused, actually wondering if that was my profile or what Nikolai just did in terms of profiling the guest speaker is a description of God's grace. For there is nothing I have or have become that I have not received from above. No man is a self-made success. Everything today, it's a function of men who have gone ahead of me. I've had the ability or the opportunity to interact with them. Thank you, Nikolai, again for this platform. It's such a pride to be asked to address a club of fellowship of Africans in the diaspora. It is humbling, and at the same time, it comes with a lot of pride to know that beyond the shore of Africa, we represent God very well and purposefully and greatly impactfully. Thank you for all you do for humanity, Nikolai, and also for proving to people that gender is not a limitation. Nikolai asked me to speak to you on principles that has worked for me. Most especially to highlight a few factors that might engage your thoughts and push you consistently beyond boundaries in the process of achieving the ultimate to please God. While I was thinking about what to share with you, eminent personality, individuals that think innovatively engaging artificial intelligence to using the powerful tools of the mind, and also engaging diverse algorithms which are obvious to me. And while looking at what you have done over the years, it's encouraging even to be associated with you. I thought to start by saying life is a paradox. And every individual that would really live a fulfilling life in the process of fulfilling God's ordained mandates must come to a realization that life is a paradox. The moment you understand this, it becomes easier for you to live for God and not just for yourself or for humanity. The moment you understand it, it makes you to have a different thought about challenges, about happiness, and about even yourself. The moment you understand that life is a paradox, it gives you a renewed energy, not only to face life, but also to calm down, to do a rethink, to be more proactive in the process of achieving your vision and fulfilling your God's given dreams. If life is a paradox, you need to understand that what is very expensive is also cheap. It is just a question of value. If life is a paradox, you understand that black is also brown because we are configured differently. If you understand that life is a paradox, you will know that prayer point is testimony in disguise. It's just a matter of time. If you understand that this life is a paradox, you will know that a man's definition of joy is another's limitation of success. It's just a matter of desire. It's just a matter of will. It's just a matter of responsibility. If you know that life is a paradox, you understand that what's just enough is more than enough for others. What is little to you is much more than enough for others. It's all about gratitude. It's all about being appreciative. That what you call little is all, and all for someone else. You need to understand that if life is a paradox, in the brief configuration of life, you will know that life is simply faith. It is hope. It is love. And for you to really maximize the power of faith, the tool of love, and to engage the resourceful expectation of hope, you need a strong faith in God. You have to keep hope alive. And you have to learn how to see the negative through the positive lenses. Learning to fight is good. Learning to win is better. But it is best to how to grow warfare, to learn how to lose, to be more than the conquerors. You need to understand that life as a paradox, that what you call success is failure to someone. And what is your failure becomes a motivation for others to trajectory redefine life. I think I should start with that, because that is a little special and specific for you to look at life differently. And that will help you to start doing things differently by acting differently. Again, you need to understand that success comes by your right dealings with the process and passage of time. If you are lazy, you cannot last. Maybe I need to say that again. The moment you are lazy, you can never last. Lazy people don't live and last longer or longer. Much comes as a reward for faithfulness to little things. You can be alive and not living. And the major master of every problem is your capacity to cope. What helps you to master challenges is your adaptive skills to cope. Until you are different, you should understand that you are not needed, and trying never to make a decision in the direction of your weaknesses, because God cannot give you what you don't have capacity to receive. There is always fame in what you fear. If you take no step, you will get no result. And no result is always a form or a new definition for result. When you are ready, but you are just preparing, you are already late. God will never give you cash, but opportunity and grace for it. Nobody rises to stardom on credit, and your redemptive strength reside in subtle pains. Nikolai, it's with a lot of joy for me to say that the greatest deception of time is that it always looks as if there is still time. The moment you don't understand the processing of time, you face to face with deception of time. And they make it look like the day is always your day. The time is always your time. Life is always your life. That is the greatest deception of life and time. Again, you need to know that when the environment is changing faster And this is very important because you live out of where you grew up. You are living in the West. You are living in Georgia, for example. You were trained and raised in Africa. You need to understand that the environment is changing and keeps changing rapidly. And when that happens, it's changing rapidly than your brain, than your skills, than what you call ability. Then you need what I define as a software of fulfillment. The moment your brain can no longer contain it and your skills are disappearing at the face of temptation and challenges, you need a software of fulfillment. And lastly, Nikolai, and every individual who thought it true to invite me to this meeting, that you do not have to look like it to get it. Most of the things I've done in my life, to the glory of God, I've never looked like it. And to be honest with you, I like it when people underestimate me. When people call you short. When Goliaths of this world think as a David, you have come to mesmerize them. When they limit you as a David, but they never knew that the God inside of you is greater than the Goliaths of this world. Do I need to remind you again that he who is inside of you is greater than challenges, than problem, or anything that you might face? You do not have to look like it to get it. When people write you off, don't forget that your name is inscribed on the palm of God's hand. When people say no to you, don't forget that God made you in his image. And when he was done with you, said, you are good or you are perfect. When people think that you don't deserve it, forget that God never thought about if you deserve it or not when he sent his only begotten son. True love. You do not have to look like it to get it. With the aid of grace, you are more than who you think you are. With God with you, God beside you, God around you, God over you, and God in you, you are much more able. You are more than who people think you are. As I close my talk, Nikolai, I'm going to challenge you that when you face anything that is bigger than you, always let life knows that he who is in you is bigger. And you are much more than who you think you are. You are not who you call yourself. You are not who people say you are. You are not what your environment conditioned you to be. You are who God says you are. And God has called you God's and the Son of the Most High. Once again, Nikolai, thanks for the opportunity to interact with my brothers and sisters that we share the same heritage and also from the same part of the world. God bless you all.